there was another celebrity death, Catherine O'Hara. First of all, a few of our fans stormed our comments on our John Candy video, and they were like, "You've done it again. You killed another person." And if I didn't know any better, I think a few of these people actually think we somehow have some kind of spiritual influence over these things. So, John, you probably haven't been following, but we talked all about Spinal Tap 2 and Rob Reiner at length. Then Rob Reiner dies. Then we talked all about John Candy and the John Candy movie, and I talked a lot in that one about Catherine O'Hara in particular. And then Catherine O'Hara passes. So I'm getting requests to stop speaking about people that are over 70. That's the prevailing request. This celebrity death, I don't mind telling you, like, it actually it truly emotionally affected me. Like, I was sitting there looking at this news that Catherine O'Hara died, and I was crying. It hit me in a way that I never would have expected. And I couldn't tell you exactly why. It's not like I'm part of the Catherine O'Hara fan club or something, but I do love all of her work, like all of it. I think she's an incredible performer. Maybe it's because we had just been talking about, the way that John Candy affected her. So obviously you got Home Alone. Home Alone's one of the biggest Christmas family, everybody's seen it kind of movies. She plays that part. One of the things I think is so awesome about the way she plays the part of the mom is, don't you feel like that could have been the kind of character, the kind of actress that would have been the very forgettable, very boring part of that movie?
Right.
Can't you imagine, like, every time you cut away from Kevin McAllister in the house, which is the whole reason you're there, and you go to the fucking mom who's stressed out, don't you think that could, like, ruin the movie if it's like, the boring mom? But instead, because she's got these comedy chops, which when I was a kid, I didn't know about SCTV or anything. I did know, like, in the second one, when she looks at camera and goes, "Come on." that insane scream that she does. I was like, there's something about this woman. But it was when I saw the Christopher Guest movies. It's a bad time to be in the Christopher Guest circle of people right now, between Rob Reiner and her. So, Waiting for Guffman, Best in Show, For Your Consideration, A Mighty Wind, that's a big one.
All favorites of mine. I loved all those movies, Mighty Wind especially, Best in Show.
I have a very happy memory. Like, this is one of the, it's a distant but a very happy memory of, the year is 2003. I'm with Nina. So how old would we have been? 16, 17. And we went to the Cable Car in Providence. Have you ever gone to the Cable Car?
Yeah. Yep.
And it was, it's one of those, artsy fartsy. It's like it's a cafe, and it's live music, and it's a movie on 35 millimeter film. I think in the movie theater, I believe it was couches. So I got to like snuggle with my girlfriend on a couch. There was like a folk singer who actually was playing like earnest folk music, and then we watched A Mighty Wind on 35 where they made fun of folk music the entire time. But of course, famously, Kiss at the End of the Rainbow, nominated for an Academy Award. Really a beautiful song, like an incredibly beautiful song. And she plays this, she plays the female singer in that. Of course, she's famous for Beetlejuice and playing various voices in Nightmare Before Christmas, because she's a beautiful singer too. All of the sketch comedy work she did in SCTV was hilarious. But yeah, I think the Christopher Guest stuff really jumps out to me. There's a scene in Waiting for Guffman, which, do you guys like Waiting for Guffman?
I've actually never seen it.
Oh yeah. It's a good. So it's about community theater. It was actually Christopher Guest's first, like, of the Christopher Guest movies. That was the first time he attempted this, and it was about like the dentist and the local accountant and stuff. They decide to be in a play about their town, about Blaine, Missouri, and Catherine O'Hara and Fred Willard are a couple, and Catherine O'Hara is a terrible actress, of course.
Don't you rest on our account, Daniel Potter. We women are just as strong and resilient as you men.
But there's a deleted scene called This Bulging River. It's her and Parker Posey playing like pioneer women. And they're talking about like I just wish this rain would stop. That's all.
I just wish it would stop. That's all.
Catherine O'Hara is so funny as a terrible actress in a stage play. Like, you know how like in a stage play, if you're looking up stage, they can't see you, so you can only look up stage for a moment and then turn back to the audience to say the line. So she's like, looking at a character, and she's like, "Where's that?"
I've heard of Mars.
Where's that?
Stand back.
In this Bulging River thing, she's supposed to be Southern, and she's like, she's putting it on real thick. And there's a moment where she's like, Hush, child. Hush.
Hush, child.
and she's, she's a terrible singer in it, which she, of course, had to act, but amazing.
These green and bountiful banks, for which we give solemn thanks, but come the storm.
Did you ever see her in Schitt's Creek at all? That was another. I mean,
Yeah,
that's
so I
more
got to
recent.
admit, I've not seen Schitt's Creek. I know that's blasphemy. People love that show.
Yeah.
So obviously, I should go check it out. But did you watch it?
I've watched a fair bit of it now. I've been working my way through it again. You know, I watched it a little when it came out. It didn't quite catch me, but I'm starting to realize it was really good. It was really solid. Matt's a big fan of that, and I'm becoming a big fan of it. And she's great in it, no question.
She, of course, Best in Show. She's the slutty dog owner that married to Eugene Levy.
It's so funny.
And she's played Eugene Levy's spouse in just about everything. A scene like Deo in Beetlejuice, like that's not half as funny without the way she performs it.
Yeah, the expressions on her face, like it's just, and that transfers into Home Alone too. It's like she just has a magnetic, beautiful face, but is funny and is just a very good performer in all aspects.
You know, I'm willing to say that I think she might be the funniest female performer, in my opinion. If you were to put Lucille Ball and, if you were but for me, like I'd put Catherine O'Hara somewhere around number one for just like where I'm like, that's somebody who's just locked in and super funny and always charismatic. And I've seen all this, I've since been fed all this footage of her just being a person. And what role do are you most proud of? Like being a mom? So like she also just seems like kind of like
Humble.
a normal, boring lady too. But then on screen, she's hysterically funny. Really special, and she died at 71. I don't know what. It sounded like it was kind of like a sudden, cardiac sort of event or something like that, or no, it's something about she had like a short like respiratory illness, and that turned. It sounds actually more like pneumonia. They didn't disclose, but it sounds like pneumonia or something. Dude, pneumonia. Don't fuck with. Okay, I'm gonna use my platform right now to save somebody's life out there. When I had pneumonia in 2020. I didn't know I had it because I had, I was coughing and the cough wouldn't go away. And it was like 4 months in. Now you might say, how come you didn't go to a doctor? I did. And they were like, here's some, at first you wait a few weeks, then you go in and they're like, here's some cough syrup so that you can go to sleep. And eventually it will pass. And then like it evened out. It wasn't that bad, but I was like, I still got this cough. I'm not really sick anymore. I still have this cough. And then one day I was passing out in my house. And I had a baby in the house, and I was like, whoa, and I was like, it was April 2020, so it was during COVID. So I started texting Nina to be like, something's wrong, and she was like, oh fuck, you must have COVID. And of course, I think in retrospect, probably I did have COVID, and that turned into some kind of pneumonia. Anyway, the point is this: when we went to the doctor, I actually tested negative for COVID, and I went home with a Z-Pack. So the antibiotic, right? It's magic stuff. It's called antibiotics. I was cured of all of those problems by the next day, as soon as I had the antibiotic. If you have a lingering cough, you have to go into the doctor because it's not going to clear on its own. You need an antibiotic.
Yeah, that's how Jim Henson died, right? He had pneumonia.
Yeah, and I'll just say my niece experienced the exact same pattern of events that you just said. Persistent cough, doctor sent her home over and over again until my sister measured her oxygen low, and then it was a trip to the ER. And she was in the hospital for 3 weeks with it. So it's serious,
Oh, yeah.
Don't ignore it.
Yeah, and it can cause heart complications, and it can cause all the... Yeah, so like if you got a cough that's going on 3 weeks... Yeah,
Take it seriously.
And what you can do is insist on x-rays because that's the only way they're going to catch it is with an x-ray. So that was the problem is I'd go into urgent care or something and they're like, have some cough syrup, but go into your, have your PCP and go in there and get an x-ray. What else do you guys want to say about Catherine? I don't know. I think part of it is like in a media landscape where everybody is everything's a statement, everything's divisive. Everything is like not just on the merits of the comedic performance or the drama or whatever. She's just a really good example of somebody who isn't touched by any of it. And she's from this Martin Short, Rick Moranis, John Candy, this era of comedians. Like she's a core member of that group. And so it feels like losing, the next round of of a bygone era.
Yeah, how legendary is that SCTV era? Yeah, it's
crazy.
It is crazy. And yeah, that's the thing. I think about the funny actresses nowadays, and it's like they insist upon themselves. They insist.
For me, it's about integrity, right? It's about her integrity as an actress, as a person. Like that's really something she carried through her whole life. And I can't say that about any new performer now. You know, it doesn't feel like they have any integrity for what they're really doing. You know,
I've talked about it on the show again, but I'll say again, like she eulogized John Candy at his funeral, and it was so well said, and it was so down to earth. I don't know, like I just feel like you're not going to get another Catherine O'Hara ever. We never got another John Candy either. You know what I mean? Like when you lose these people, you lose them. She had a long career. It's a great reason to watch Schitt's Creek for me, and a lot of other stuff. So
yeah, I'm definitely gonna catch up on Waiting for Guffman. So
oh yeah, you got it. It's so funny. Have Best in Show, Mighty Wind? Have you checked those out yet? Not yet.
Best in Show I've seen in my life, and I had the DVD for a while. Yeah,
Best in Show is very funny. Yeah, Fred Willard, he died. He died at like 86. He had a nice long life, thankfully. I don't know if everybody, not everybody gets to 86. But she was 71, and I thought she was in pretty good health. But she, in that John Candy documentary, she was kind of frail. It had occurred to me. I was like, is she okay? She's getting older.
Right.
And I'm sure she didn't plan on dying. You don't plan on dying.
She was in The Last of Us second season there.
Right. Yeah. You know what? Like, not a great show, but...
But she was there.
And they gave her a character that was annoying, actually. But, she did everything she could with that thing.
She tried.
Would you help me to keep my family dry and warm?
Subscribe to Red Cow Entertainment on Patreon for full episodes every other week.